on, guys? This is Joe, and today I'm bringing you guys a tutorial on how to record PC gameplay with the Elgato GameCapture HD. Now, I do not have my Elgato with me, so I won't be able to show you any video evidence of me doing this, but I wanted to show you that I want to guarantee that this will work, and it will allow you to record games with no extra lag. So if you already have lag, it's not like it's going to make it disappear, but it also records with sound, and you can do this with one monitor. So other than that, let's get started. So as you can see, I'm on my desktop, and before you want to get started, this is basically for sound. And if you want to have sound in your gameplay, you want to check, and some stuff may not work, so so you guys can check, so you guys will know. So first things first, if you want to see if you can record sound, you want to right click with your mouse on Windows, or go to About This Mac on a Mac computer, because this does work for Mac as well. And then you want to click, and then all you're going to look at is where it says here. See how it says NVIDIA control panel? Now I could say this, or AMD control panel, or Radeon, or something like that. If it doesn't say neither of these two, then that means there won't be allowed to, sound won't be recorded, because NVIDIA and AMD are the only two that support sound coming out. Like if you have a Intel, then it won't work. So as you can see, I'm going to pull up a diagram on screen, and you're gonna see a bunch of lines and a bunch of labels and everything. So just hear me out. First things first, you have the top left where you have your PC. Now I drew a desktop. This also works with a laptop, but we'll explain that later. First things first, with the PC, you're gonna see what is that line going from the back of the computer. Now I'm gonna say that unless it's labeled USB, these are HDMI cables. So the bottom left line is an HDMI cable, and then all the way to the right should be an HDMI cable. Now here, this is really crucial, so I'm going to pull up another picture on screen. Again, if you had an AMD or an NVIDIA graphics card installed on your computer, and if it was working, obviously you'll have some type of I/O behind your computer. Now you'll have like your motherboard, which will be like, it'll show your USB ports and all that stuff. And then if you look down on your computer, you should see another set of display ports and all that kind of stuff. Now I did highlight what you want to plug in. You want to plug in one of your HDMI cables into the highlighted HDMI section. Now obviously you could use adapters for this, but HDMI is probably the best way to go, especially for this tutorial. So every graphics card usually comes with this, at least an HDMI port, so you want to plug in anything. And if you do have your only monitor or two monitors plugged in, then to this port, don't worry about that, because we will find a way to plug in your monitor in at the later on in the video, so don't worry about that. However, if you do unplug your monitor now, your screen will obviously go black, so don't worry about that. So plug in one of the HDMI cables into this HDMI output on your graphics card. Next thing, we're back at the diagram, and then you want that HDMI cable to go to the HDMI in on the Elgato GameCapture HD. Now this will allow you to record. So basically, if you didn't have a monitor, you could basically record at this point if you also attach the USB cable, which is obviously simple. The USB cable obviously has to go to your computer. And quick tip, if you say your computer turns off and say you don't want to record or something like that, you can plug in the USB into the computer, or into a USB outlet. So I'm back. Sorry for that interruption. But anyways, moving on, you want to plug in the USB into your computer in any way, shape, or form. So if anyway it gets plugged into your computer, good. Then yeah. So how are you going to be able to see what you're doing on your computer? Because obviously it's kind of important to see what you're doing when you're playing your games. So next, this is pretty simple. Just get an HDMI cable, plug it into your monitor, and then plug that cable into the HDMI out. That is it. You're now done with the hardware section of this tutorial. Now it's back to the computer. So I am back with the desktop, the Jagnal. Anyways, you want to right click and go to screen resolution. Now, this does say like a monitor, like, because I do have 2 monitors at this point right now. So you're gonna have, if you have 1 monitor, it'll show 2. If you have 2, it'll show 3. Because when you first plug it in, Elgato or Windows is going to see it as a extra display. So you don't want that to happen. So for example, say if Elgato is 2 and your main display is 1, you're gonna go to multi-displays and duplicate on these displays. Now, if you have 2 displays, like I do, there will be a 1, a 2, and a 3. Elgato usually will be 3. So say Elgato is number 3, and your main display is number 1. Then you'll go duplicate on 1 and 3. Hit apply, and then everything will turn back to normal. And nothing's gonna change. And if your resolution is off, then obviously you can adjust it back to normal, like 1080p. And that is basically it for the recording part. But how do you get sound? Now obviously if you have the Intel graphics, then you won't be able to record sound. But anyways, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you're running Intel integrated graphics, there's probably a good chance you don't play many highly intensive games, because the Intel graphics are not powerful. So again, you're gonna go down to your sound, you know how I like the little sound icon, right click and then click on recording devices. Now, I'm going to, by default, it's going to look like this. Since I have my microphone installed, it's gonna show just this because I'm using it. Right click, show disconnected, show disabled, and you should see stereo mix. Now if you don't have stereo mix, that would be probably something weird, and you should go to the forums on Microsoft, because they show you how to do it, and it's not like a download, so obviously I can't show you in this tutorial. So if you don't have stereo mix, just go search it up on Google, because go to a forum on Microsoft. Just don't download it from weird sketchy sites, because that's how you get viruses. But anyways, you should have stereo mix if you just, didn't mess around with Windows. So I have Windows 8.1. I'm just saying this However, this does work with Windows 7 XP, I think, and Windows Vista. So you guys all will be accepted into this recording of PC gameplay. Anyways, you want to go and click on properties, or click enable on the stereo mix. Now you'll be like, okay, well, I still can't see the sound bars for my recording thing on the Elgato. That's because you gotta right click, go to properties, then go to listen. Then if you have an AMD or NVIDIA graphics card, you'll click down, it'll say Elgato. Click listen to this device, click apply, boom, you'll be able to record sound, you'll have your video, you'll be ready to go. And that is how you do it. Now, if you have any problems, be sure to let me know in the comments, because obviously something could go wrong and it's probably not as buttery smooth as I am in this example, because obviously you never know what could happen. So I'm disabling it now because I don't use Elgato to record. So that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. This video did take a while, or a little bit longer than my usual videos. So yeah, if you enjoy it, like I said, hit the like button. I know a lot of you have been wanting this tutorial, so here you go. Other than that, this has been Jagnal, and other than that, I will see you guys next time.